Hey guys, how's it going? It's WhatRiPods here, and I've got a application review for you guys tonight. And let's just turn this on. As you can see by the icon right there, it is Color Splash. Now it's going to load up a session I'm already in for the review, so let's resume that session. As you see, you can delete the session that you're in by hitting Edit and start a new session. But we're going to do this one because I like the photo, and it should be perfect for the review. So basically, this application is a photo editing software where you can choose certain colors to shine through in a photo. Say that apple that the dog has in its mouth. If I wanted that apple just be green and everything else black and white, I can do that in this application. Now this application is $1.99 and it's pretty popular in the App Store right now. I believe it's in the top 10 or top 25, somewhere up there. But it's $1.99, so kind of pricey, but not really. It's a pretty good price for what this application does. So I'm going to run through some of the tools really fast. So as you can see down at the bottom, we've got three tools. We've got a pan and zoom, where you simply click that and you can pan the photo around. You can also zoom in just like a normal photo on the iPod Touch. And you've also got your color selector, where it's simply like your paintbrush, where if I was to do a stripe like that, you can see that that's color and not black and white anymore. So we'll just change that back to black and white by hitting the gray button. So up here you've got your menu, where you can load an image, load a session. So if you were in the middle of something and you kind of closed out of the application, like I did before this, you can reload that session, or if you have one saved, by hitting the save session, you can come back to it. And then there's also invert, which if you say I chose the apple to be green and everything else black and white, if I hit invert, the apple would be black and white and everything else would be color. So you can save your image after you're done with it. So let's go to cancel. Up here is your help button. This is pretty much all the instructions that you have for the application. I'm not going to go really through it because it is an extensive set of instructions. As you can see here, there is some settings that you can do. So if you go into the settings on the home screen, you can actually change like the brush size. You can show that slider in the app. You can make the brush tip visible, which I have on because that's the way I like it. You can go to done. So up here is I'll show you guys that later because I'm going to go through and kind of show you guys what this is like. Up here is kind of your brush selection. So there's that slider I had selected. You can either turn it down or make it really big. Just put it somewhere in the middle. You've also got 4 different types of brush types. These ones right here, this one's like the sharp one. It has really sharp edges. And this one's got sort of the soft edges. These ones are kind of like gradient types. If I was to go over it, as you see, it didn't really do anything. But if I was to kind of keep swiping over it like this, it's not really doing it for some strange reason. Okay, but it will get more colorful as you go along. Oh, it's because I'm in gray. Duh. Okay, so as you can see here, we're just going to simply, you see there, it does get more colorful and more colorful. And as you can see, how I switched that button up at the top, and that kind of makes everything red. That basically is saying what you have cut out, because this is basically, you're making a stencil. There's 2 photos. You've got the black and white one, which is on top, and then you've kind of got like a color one on the bottom. That's kind of how you think of it. So anything you kind of burn out or kind of cut out, the color will shine through. Now if we were to change it back, we can see the color that we did shine through. So now I'm pretty much failed on myself by coloring and was wondering why it wasn't going in the color. So let's get everything back into gray. Let's go up here. This is our undo button. I think everyone knows what that does. So you can also turn this application like this, so you can turn your photo if you have a landscape photo like this one is. So let's basically start coloring this. So let's go into our color. Let's go into our brushes. I like the sharp brush. And let's zoom in a little bit. We will color the dog. I want everything except the dog color, but since the dog is a smaller part of the screen, I'm actually going to color the dog and then invert it afterwards. So let's go into the pan. Let's get our color. And let's simply just start coloring the dog. So just like that, very simple. I'm not really going to take my time on this. As you can see, you can really zoom in on this You can see I can really zoom in. So if you have a really high-res photo with a lot of megapixels in it, if you have a camera that takes really good megapixels, you can really zoom in. I believe you can if it's a really high megapixel camera. I'm sure you could do this and really get those details that you really want to get colored or not colored. So let's zoom in. Simply color the dog. So as I said, I'm not going to really do a great job. I'm just going to kind of go through here. Zoom through. I'm sorry if I don't talk because I'm also trying to concentrate while I'm doing this. So let's hit that apple. So you can see there, the apple is very green now. Now if we switch it to the red, because I did get some of the grass here colored, if we switch it to the red, we can exactly see what we have colored. So now we can zoom in, and we can fix that spot. So let's select the gray, and simply go over it like that, and just color around it. I did screw up a little bit, but for the sake of the view, let's change it back to color now. As you can see there, we have no grass selected anymore. So let's zoom back out, and we'll start finishing this dog up. You can see there, let's turn up the brush size because we do have a pretty broad area right here. So let's turn up our brush size. There we go. Make this go by a little bit faster. Sorry if it's not in the camera. Switch back. So you can see here I'm just switching back between the pan and the zoom and the color tool. Just because I don't want to be zoomed in out really far. I like to be zoomed in pretty close so I can get some good details in there. You can see there I'm getting some of the grass now. So we can fix that by again going to the red and then going to the gray. Let's turn this down just a little bit. And it's being very testy right now. Okay, so select this and simply do the outline like I did before. We'll deselect that spot. And I'm going to keep it in red and just kind of finish up this coloring right here. So very simple. You guys will see an amazing result afterwards because this does do a really good job of bringing out all the colors in the picture. I really like this application. I'm glad I bought it. It was only $1.99. Like I said, some people might think it's kind of pricey, but for what it does and how well it does it, it's actually a pretty good price. So as you can see there, I didn't do the best job of coloring it because I don't have the time to. Just going to turn this brush down a little bit. I'll show you some images that I did before this one. And as I said, you guys can really take your time and really make these things like really perfect if you want to, because you can zoom in really far and just make sure that you've got every single thing colored and all your outlines perfect. So now let's zoom back out. So as you can see there, pretty well selected. Nothing too great though. And we'll switch it back to the color. As you can see there, the dog is in color and the harness is in color, and everything else is black and white. So now let's go into our menu, hitting this button down here, and we will click invert. As you can see that, now the dog is in black and white, the apple's in black and white, the harness is in black and white, and everything else is color. See that? I'll bring it kind of close. I don't know how well I've got it macroed in. You can see that. Very cool application. Let me load up some photos that I did earlier, if I have the time. Got some time. So as you can see here, I'm a Halo fan, so I had to do my Halo photo. As you can see there, I'm just doing some snowboarding stuff, and I'm colored and everyone else isn't. Little photo where it's just the pizza is colored, and everything else is in black and white. And again, I saved it twice by accident. So you can really do some interesting stuff with this. I'm pretty sure a lot of you are going to like it. Check it out. This is WhatRiPods signing out, guys. Peace.